There we go. Welcome, Ewen Ferguson, to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
The first non-football player.
Breaking barriers.
You
breaking
are.
Down barriers.
There we go. That's it. That's it. Ewen is a professional golfer, so I'm going to give a little background from my research. Okay.
Nice one.
So if anything's
wrong, don't worry. I'll correct you. You don't need to tell me.
Okay. So you're a 25-year-old professional golfer. You left school at 16 to pursue a career in golf.
If I ever went, but I
yeah,
guess so.
we'll get onto that. We'll get onto that because I know it was kind of earlier.
Yeah.
You're the only player in over a decade to hold the British Boys Championship, which was in 2013, and the Scottish Boys Championship in 2014. They were like back to back.
Yeah, and the Scottish stroke play as well. So I held all three of them at the same time. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. You turned pro at 20 years old.
Yep.
And most recently, 2021 Challenge Tour season, you had 6 top 5 finishes.
Yep.
And that meant you secured your full European card.
Yep. On the main tour for next year.
And that's basically that's my overview. That's what I've got so far.
That's the main things. That's the main
fair overview? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So we will get into your career and stuff like that. But first of all, what do you think of the studio?
Unreal. What an unreal studio.
It's a nice studio.
Yeah, I could chill in here. Might chill in here this afternoon. Just play the PlayStation.
It's nice, mate. And anyone who's not watching it on YouTube won't be able to see how nice it is, but it is lovely. So thank you to G4 Claims for hosting us once again. So before we get into kind of like your upbringing, that kind of thing, what is like a typical day in the life for you?
A day at home or a day on...
Day golfing. We could even go to like a week in the life because I feel like...
so much stuff that it kind of entails for the week.
Change, yeah.
So
let's go with a day in the life. Or why don't we go a week? So
I'll start off with a kind of week. I think when my week kind of starts on the kind of Sunday night, to be honest. I need to figure out where I'm going to be that week for the tournament or for like a training week I've been practicing. I'll get there, maybe book the flight for the Monday morning or wherever I can go, if I can get there on Monday morning.
And what kind of places are you going to?
I mean, I'm going to Dubai on Monday right now, just practicing there. I try and go to the place that's best suited to get to my next place for the tournament. But Dubai is kind of a good hub for kind of all of that stuff. I'll wake up around... I'm not really a morning person, so I think if you just kind of accept that, then you get the best out of yourself.
So nice chilled out morning.
Yeah, I think I wake up around like 8:30, get a nice breakfast, like go back up, can chill.
So let's say we're in Dubai.
Yeah.
So this is like Monday. Would you fly out on the Monday or the Sunday?
It depends. I'm guessing like how much time I've got, but as soon as I can get there, as long as I'm getting out of the cold. So, but yeah, if it's on the Monday, I'd kind of have breakfast at like 8:30. Go up the room, chill, shower, and just kind of make my way to the golf at like a nice, reasonable 10:30 time. Feel like I get the best out of myself kind of that time. Practice for a couple of hours, have some lunch, practice all different aspects of the game: short game, putting, driving, iron play, whatever's kind of been the weakest. Done that kind of statistics from the week before or whatever I feel like needs the most work. I'll focus on that and just grind away until I manage to feel like I've got it sorted.
So that's like morning?
Yeah.
And then you're back for lunch, then would you go out?
I'll go back out in the afternoon, work on different things, and then I would probably go out for like 9 holes, just to make sure I can do it on the course. You know, it's different between doing it on the range and then get out in the course and make sure that it's kind of dialed in. Or got friends everywhere, or maybe go and play a little money match.
Okay, nice. Big money,
no,
big
not
money
big
game,
money.
no?
Depends who I'm playing. Depends who I'm playing against. Jeez. I mean, for me, I'm a bit of a tight arse, so I'll make sure that it's not too much.
I know a few of them. There's been a few of those on this podcast already.
I think that's the way you need to be at this kind of earlier levels, doesn't it? Like, so no,
So like typically, is your day like a training day? Like, is it mostly at the range, or is it mostly playing 9 holes, or?
It's mostly. It depends on what I'm needing to practice on. If I'm doing like technical work, it's on the range a lot. I need to make sure like I'm getting it right, like ingrain it in my kind of swing. And then I'll take it on the course and make sure it's working. But if I feel like technically my swing coach thinks my technique's really good and everything's going well with my swing, I'll just play.
Okay.
And just make sure that I'm making birdies and I'm making putts and I'm like kind of scoring good scores, shooting low. So like when the tournament starts, I know where I am. So it's with golf, there's so many different aspects of the game and so many different things that you need to be able to deal with and do it well.
Yeah.
Like bunker play, simple little chip shots. I mean, there's no point in everything being good. You get near the green, simple stuff, and all of a sudden you're just like, oh.
Yeah. So is this like, so say on a week where you don't have like a tournament or competition, are you just doing that kind of Monday through Sunday, the same kind of day? Just
yeah. I mean,
obviously when it comes to a tournament or a competition, it changes.
Yeah. Well, I would have a kind of an off day as well in there because I love that feeling of when I've got like the bug. To go and do it. I like that feeling when I'm like, I can't wait to get there. If you just keep doing it, you're like, okay, I'm kind of bored now. So I always have like kind of wee off day just to kind of think about it and stuff. And also I've obviously speak a lot with my like psychologist and swing coach and stuff like quite a lot, and that takes up quite a lot of time as well. So on kind of off days I'll kind of do that. So I can just kind of reflect on it and know like that kind of little off time's a good time to think as well, and you can use that time kind of quite valuable time to use to get better.
Gives you that kind of time to recharge. Like it's the same with any sport or any job really. Like if you're just going every single day, like you're just going to burn yourself out.
And you end up just being like, okay, I'm bored now. I can't bother doing that, or you don't have that kind of focus when you're doing it as well. You need to be on it, you know.
So are your your swing coach? Is there coaches out there with you when you're traveling to these different places?
At tournaments,
At tournaments,
At tournaments, swing coaches basically at every tournament.
Okay.
But
and when you're practicing though, is it just
when
you?
I'm practicing? It's just me, but I'll send them videos. My caddy might sometimes be there.
Okay. Who's the caddy?
I've got a caddy who he's called Shane Corries. He's a South African boy.
Okay.
So I've had some time to. The caddy thing's quite a big deal.
Is it a big deal?
Yeah.
See, so I'm going to be fully honest, and my knowledge on golf is just about as good as my golf ability, which is not
zero.
Good. But I'm interested in like
sport in general.
In sport in general, but finding out like obviously you've been really successful in your golf so far. You're 25, so you've been professional 5 years, and I want to know like wee things like that, like how it works, like the kind of intricacies of the kind of professional side on the course, off the course, and then like things like your mindset and all that. So what's the gap?
Caddies are massive.
Yeah,
I mean, I think for some people they're massive. I'm quite an emotional guy, quite a deep thinker. So for me, caddy's quite a big deal. Some guys are. It's about knowing yourself again as well. Like some guys are just carefree, don't really care, and they can just bring like a mate on the bag or their girlfriend on the bag or their wife, and just doesn't matter as much. But I use a caddy for a lot of things. Make the wind, the grain on the greens.
Well, are they there to motivate you at all?
Depends
keep you going,
if that's
keep you focused.
Make sure that I don't get in bad moods. Make sure I don't get stroppy. Make sure my attitude's good. Make sure I'm doing the right processes. Make sure I'm eating the right things after every 3 holes. I'm eating.
Okay.
Like make sure I'm not getting hungry, because as soon as I get hungry, it's too late.
Yeah.
Helping me read the green. Making sure the crowd's out the way.
Yeah.
Making sure people are quiet. Making sure, because I like to just concentrate on golf. Make sure I'm playing. I wouldn't like to be like, can you be quiet please? I'll just say to him, Shane.
Aye.
Like
he knows you well.
He knows me well.
He knows how you work.
Exactly. So he knows everything that bothers me, and he makes sure all that distraction is just out the road.
And you're just there to play golf.
I'm just there to play golf.
Okay.
So I use my caddy a lot. Obviously, you might need to pay him a wee bit more if you use him for that much stuff. But I feel like if that makes you play good on the course, then it's an investment in yourself. Exactly.
So how did you select? What is his name? Sorry.
Shane.
How did you select?
I've had young caddies because I thought that I would want a young guy that I can chat to and get on with and just chat about regular life stuff. But as I kind of got older, I realised I was doing okay and stuff, and it was going well. But this guy's won like 8 times on tour with other players.
Okay.
So he's very successful. He's caddied in Ryder Cups, all the majors, like proper caddy. And he's a bit older. He's like nearly 60.
Okay.
South African.
Right, okay.
He's very wise and he's very comfortable in his own skin. And
so has he made like a career out of being a caddy? Is that a thing? Oh, right.
Yeah, he's made a really good career out of being a caddy. He's got like businesses back home, and I mean, he's won some big tournaments. Yeah.
So basically, any tournament that you're playing in,
there.
You phone him up and you're like...
No, I don't phone him up. He knows the schedule. We talk all the time.
He knows,
We're a team.
Yeah.
Like, we talk all the time. He knows where to be. Like, I'll go in... if I've got a 1 o'clock tee off time, he's walked the course before I get there.
Yeah.
He's like, I've seen a guy go there. It's not a good place to go.
Okay.
Like, left
that's
here,
interesting, yeah.
right here. Like, can't go. If you go in that bunker, it's dead. You're not going to make par or birdie from there.
Yeah.
It's an easier putt from long than it is from short. You know, he knows that I like left to right putts. Yeah. So he'll be like, if you hit it there, it's a right to lefter, which you can still make, but you obviously your stats are higher from that side. So it goes into a lot of depth. And a lot of kind
so
of small little details.
Valuable for yourself anyway. But you say some players obviously don't.
Some guys are just chilled, Some guys are just got on with it and stuff. I feel like different people are just different.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Some guys couldn't play well like me. The way I think about it. If some guys were doing this, if some guys were thinking the stuff, they'd be like, "Oh, that's too much." Then some people are way more than me. Like way more. Like crazy detail.
Yeah, but I think like just like in any sport, but in particular for yourself, like you learn about yourself as you go. So like that's one of the reasons why you're probably improving, because as you get older, you mature, you realize like what you actually need and what actually makes you.
I've learned so much about myself since I've started to feel. I feel like the same as I was 18 years when I was 18, but 25 now, and you just mature and learn different things about yourself. And that's the other thing. The first thing I say to the other people as well when they say like I thought he would have kind of made it. I'm like, we might still. Yeah. Different people like mature at different ages. Like, got some friends now who are top 50 in the world, top 10 in the world, just killing it. Yeah. My age, but they've just developed and they've matured and realised things about themselves. Maybe when they're 22. Yeah. I might just be realising myself now.
Would you say is there like a peak age for golfers to come into their kind of golden years?
Well, yeah. Well, statistics wise, it would be about 30.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a really young golfer.
So, do you see yourself gearing up towards that?
No, I'm ready. I'm gearing myself up for now. Yeah. I want to get ready. I want to do it now. I'm not gearing myself up for then. I'm ready to. I'm on the kind of top tour now, top level. Yeah. Just kind of make sure I'm getting ready for that and give myself opportunities, get myself into contention, see if I can pull it off. You know.
So if we go back to, why don't we go back to where it all began for you? So when did you start? When did you start playing?
Started playing because my dad was quite a good player. He was like just holding like course records at like the clubs around the small clubs around the kind of community. And I was always like, that's really impressive. And he was always like quite highly respected when he was at golf clubs. Yeah. And I always felt quite cool. Like, that's my dad. Yeah. It's quite funny how it's switched now. It used to be that's Mark's son Ewan. Now that's Ewan's dad Mark. But no, so I always liked that kind of the way that I used to always like being around the golf with him. Yeah. Golf's quite different as well. It's called the gentleman's sport. Yeah. So it's very like proper.
It's very different to like football anyway.
Yeah, it's very formal and stuff. And
did you quite like that?
I just fell in love with everything about it. And then you grow up and it's just so much things that you just fall in love with. Just the kind of morning dew and the greens and the smells of the freshly cut grass and just practicing. And just still now, it still makes me motivated.
So what age were you? Do you think when you started? Five when you really started.
5 when I started going to course all the time with my dad. I just started like loving it.
Were you his caddy ever? No.
All the time. Yeah. Caddy from. He used to always say to me, if I win, he would give, if in amateur events like he'd play in, if you won them, you got like a £250 check for the pro shop at the club. He used to say, if I win, I'll give you it. Yeah. So I used to be really.
That must have been the best thing in the world. At that age.
£250 to spend the pro shop. I didn't know what to buy. I was like, there's so much stuff. So we used to do that, and that was good fun. And then.
So did he ever have aspirations to go pro or anything like that? No.
He started when he was like 25.
Oh, right, okay. So he started
a bit later and just kind of became a good amateur. He was always good at like good hand-eye, good at like squash and kind of.
And when do you think? Table tennis. When do you think he realised that you had something, or when did you think you realised that you had?
When
something?
I was 12 and I started playing international tournaments.
Okay.
I started playing like international under 12 tournaments, international under 14 tournaments. Yeah. And travelling about and stuff. And started doing well.
Yeah, and you were doing well.
Doing well and finishing like third, or maybe some weeks I'd finish like 12th, but like 100 odd kids, and I'd be like, I had a top 15 this week, if you thought you were cool, and you meet your little clique of friends, got on with them, and you just kind of try and beat each other, and you just push up together, and some people just fall off, and or they get different ages. Some people start preferring parties and stuff like that, and there's that small amount, isn't it, that just kind of break through and think they want it just that wee bit more, or just get that wee bit luckier. It's all luck sometimes as well.
And just keep going. As you said, like I think a lot of in sports, a lot of people just kind of slowly fade away as you know yourself. Like as you get older, you do have distractions and stuff like that.
You get distractions, and it's easy to just drift off and fade away. And if it doesn't work out for you, just kind of thinking that's just not for me.
Yeah. So what do you think in your mindset, like what made you not, not drift away? What do you think's different in you?
I just never let it, and I could never accept that I wasn't going to make it to the top level of golf. I just could never accept it. I was always just like, nah, I will. Yeah. And if I was struggling at one point, which times I was thinking, oh no, this might not be for me. Like I'd phone home from Australia and just be like, no, like I can't, like I'm not playing well. It's not working out. Yeah. And they'd be like, my mum, dad, my brother would be like, no, you can. Like we've seen it, we know you can. And I would kind of say that because I'd want to hear that from them. But in the back of my head, I always kind of knew, like, yeah. And I knew
you want that reassurance.
I want that reassurance. You need that, don't you?
Aye, but especially for yourself, like you're playing by yourself. Yeah. There's no team there. Yeah. Like team, you might have like backroom staff like helping you out, but there's no like teammates.
It's all eyes on you. It's just like Ewen Ferguson. It's not.
That must be a lot of pressure though.
It is a lot of pressure, but again, that's another part of the thing of enjoying it. Like, I love that kind of pressure as well.
Because when you win, it's you, isn't it?
And when you're doing bad, it's you as well. So why you're responsible. Yeah. Why? What do I need to do to get better? Like, I need to get this in place, and and then all of a sudden when you're doing well, it's amazing. Everyone's your friend, and you're doing great. Yeah. When you're not doing well, I'm starting to get like we said, getting a bit older, so I'm starting to actually enjoy not doing well, but get myself out of it and working out why. Yeah. And then improving on it, getting to the next tournament and seeing myself improve from where I was to where I am now.
So see, if we go back to, obviously this is like 12, 13, you thought you were going to like kind of, you realised that you actually had something about you were going to kind of be pretty successful. So I know we talked about leaving school possibly earlier than 16. Yeah. So am I right in saying that I got this from the Bogey Boys?
Yeah, Bogey Boys podcast.
13, 14 were you?
To be honest, maybe officially I left when I was 16, but I went to Bearsden Academy, and when I was 14 I said to my mum and dad, like, I want to go to America and just play there. So I moved out to America when I was 14.
So what was that, like second or third year?
Just kind of about to start third year kind of time. Yeah. And I went out to...
Because normally a lot of young golfers would go to do a scholarship. You didn't go to do a scholarship.
Well, that was their initial plan.
Oh, that was the initial plan.
I was going to go to high school in the States and then just move on to the college. Right. But when I went out there, I was practicing every day. Yeah. And I was getting...
Whereabouts did you go?
Hilton Head Island, South Carolina.
Right, okay.
And it's golf heaven there. Yeah. It's like...
the sun is shining every day.
Yeah, it's unreal. It's like amazing. And I was practicing every day and I was playing tournaments all the time. I started to do really well. And then when I came back here... So I was going to school there.
So you were going to school there?
I went to high school there. Yeah. For a couple of years until I was 16. Yeah. But I was like, if
you were taking a box.
I was taking a box. I had to take time off all the time to play tournaments. And as soon as 16 I became legal to leave, I was like, right, I'm out of here.
So you left school. Did you finish school there, or did you finish school here? You never came back and went? Because I went to the same high school as you. I was a year below you, but you never came back to Bearsden Academy, did you?
No. I just
so at 16, you just left.
I just playing tournaments all the time and practicing all the time, playing tournaments all around the world, getting good. And I started to think, it's kind of working out quite well. Went back home, and that was kind of the test for me to play these big tournaments back home, because that's where like all the best amateurs play at this time. And I was doing really well and winning them.
Yeah. So when you came back, was that the tournaments you won? The British boys and the Scottish boys.
I won them then as well. I was winning like...
How big is that? Like for anyone listening that doesn't know...
The British boys amateur championship's the biggest, like the top is... There's two biggest... There's the US junior amateur championship and there's the British amateur championship. And it's the junior ones. Under 18, and they're like the two biggest in the world. Yeah. So if everyone in the world's playing in them, who's the best? And I won.
Right, okay, so that's like across the globe, people are coming that age to play. Okay, that's amazing.
Over at the States to play in them. Yeah. And so it's like basically at that time I was like one of the best under 18s in the world, and the ranking said that as well. I was like 5 or something under 18.
And you won them back to back.
And I won them the same year. Yeah. So I was like doing well.
You must have felt like have been like, I'm flying.
I'm thinking, going to the top. Yeah, I was thinking this is just unreal. And then like I was getting better than the people I was playing with when I was younger, because I was practicing all the time in the sun. Yeah. And then
so see, at 16, are you still doing are you going abroad all the time as well, like you are now?
In the States, practicing? I was kind of just going around the States. I was coming home in the summertime and then playing all the tournaments around the world, like Europe.
So who were you living with out there? Like how did that? In like what was the setup?
So it's like a boarding school basically, right? And it's just like houses. Okay. In this like little community. Okay. And you live in a house with
Is it for golfers?
It's for sport. Okay. So there's other sports.
Right.
People that play tennis, hockey, or I don't know, lacrosse, you know,
yeah.
stuff like that. And then I would be
great game.
Great game. Do I talk about that? No. And I'd be in a house with just like 3-4 other guys my age,
Right. Okay.
which is really cool. And then there'd be like a house parent
Okay.
who would like help cook and
Yeah.
young, obviously.
Because I wasn't sure if maybe your dad had gone out with
No,
you
no,
or
no,
not,
just
so you're
myself.
out with this. Okay.
And it was brilliant fun. Like I'm still really good friends with some of the guys that I've had, and some
amazing experience.
memories,
So at that age,
amazing memories, yeah.
Aye.
And then the plan was to go to college, obviously. So I was going to go to college and looked at like going to like Florida Gators, University of Florida and stuff like that. And I was thinking that's what I'm going to do. Played a tournament there. The coach came out and watched me, and I played really well. I thought this is it. But then I went back home and started doing really well, and I got picked for like some of the biggest tournaments. Like, and I thought, may as well.
You don't need to do the scholarship.
I felt like I'd kind of done it because I went to high school. I didn't want to redo it. Or I know you don't know when you're going to go in hindsight. Maybe
and if you're performing well, you want to take your chances. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
in sport, you have to take your chance and capitalize on your form and stuff. You know.
We were talking about earlier. I went with Adidas and stuff like that, and TaylorMade. So two like biggest companies in golf, really. Or Adidas is kind of world renowned just in every sport. And I was like, well, let's do it. So signed with like them for 3 years and started the kind of journey to see.
So that was like you played in these competitions at 16, 17, and then. Do you think like the way you're performing there made you turn pro at 20? Did that encourage you to turn pro at 20? Because is that quite young? It sounds quite young.
That is quite young. Guys kind of do different stuff. Guys would maybe do 22 after college. Okay. You know, straight after college, they're like, right, I'll turn pro. But I played in this tournament called the Walker Cup. Which is Great Britain and Ireland against the US. So it's like the best against the best, top 10 against the top 10 best there. And I performed really well there and kind of noticed quite a bit. So I felt like it was I stayed amateur for another year after that, actually. I still thought I'm still young, so I was only 19 when I played that. Stayed amateur for another year, and after you've played all the tournaments as well in the amateur game, you start thinking, well,
what's next?
I don't want to do it again. I don't want to play the same tournaments again. So I thought, may as well take the next level and try and learn that way. And
it's a natural progression, really, isn't it?
I felt like, well, I've done it all in the amateur game now. I can't just keep playing and playing and playing. So wanted to see what else was out there for me, and kind of just went for it. Yeah.
So when I was doing my background research on you, I was reading up. So at 20, like what was the golf course you were attached to, like at home? Was it Bearsden?
Yeah, Bearsden was my kind of home club.
It sounded like they kind of like, it's almost like they're part of the process of when you first go pro. Is that right? I don't know. Or it was like
not really. No, they're not. It's the reason that I was with Bearsden, because they were the only club that would let me in when I was so young, to join. So I was like, so I started to stay loyal with them and keep representing them. But no, they.
So is that what you do up until you turn pro? You kind of represent your.
Not really. You just represent Scotland.
Right. Okay.
You represent just your country. But I just kind of used. They were my club, my kind of affiliation club. But
and at 20, really. You went with Modest Golf. Was that the kind of management team that took you pro? Yeah, I went. I actually signed with a Scottish company first. But I made a lot of friends that were in Modest and thought it was just a natural kind of way to go. So I went. It was Bounce before. That's right. Sports management. There you go. I did my research. So I was with Bounce at the start. They were really good. And did they set up the Adidas stuff? And all that stuff. Even though obviously you kind of get it yourself, but they just obviously it's off the back of you playing. Yeah, but they just kind of finalise it all for you. And then I went with Modest when my contract finished with Bounce. Wasn't sure what to do, but I had so many friends in Modest, and then signed with them and for 3 years, and then just signed again another 3 years with them. So kind of linked in with them for a while. And so see the minute you turn pro, like what really changes? What are the big changes? That was the kind of thing it took a while to get used to. Just because I wasn't sure what changed, because I was still golfing. I was basically already a full-time golfer anyway. But what changes is you're playing for money. Okay. You're paying to move out. But prior to that though, you must have to earn money before you turn pro. Well, or is there any ways? You don't really. No. But when you're doing well, you're kind of setting yourself up to be paid when soon as you turn pro from your sponsors. And also everything gets paid for you from like Scotland Golf or like the RNA, the British before you turn government bodies. Right, so they would pay for my flights to go. I was going to say because a lot of this travelling must cost. Yeah, they paid all that, and I went with like the teams, Scottish teams, and like other golfers who were doing really well in Britain. So that was all kind of like funded for me. Yeah. And And is there some golfers who don't have access to that? Obviously, you have to be good.
There's some really good golfers who might just miss out in the teams.
Right. Okay.
They're like, I need to find a way to play the tournament, so
Yeah,
they
yeah,
have
yeah.
to kind of find their own way,
Yeah.
which is really hard. And some really good golfers just didn't go because they were like, I can't afford it.
Yeah.
But that's not. But at the time, you think it's the be all and end all, but it's really not. It's just a tournament and one tournament and amateur game. But
So what was the difference really for you going from playing like in these amateur tournaments, competitions to starting to play in the professional ones? Obviously,
the difference was playing for money. I feel like
was that an added pressure? Did you feel?
I found the pressure. I felt like I wasn't playing for myself all the time. I was playing for like Adidas. I was trying to prove to them that I was worth
whatever they were giving you.
Yeah, and worthy of just being associated with the company.
Brand. Yeah.
I was playing for like management company. I was wanted to show everyone that like told you I'm good kind of thing. I can do it.
Yeah.
Even though like, well,
I totally get that because especially when you're young, you still feel like you want to prove yourself.
Definitely, yeah. You're just bloody. People were asking. I'm so much better at dealing with it now. Obviously, but like, oh, wear these shoes for this week. And I'd be like, all right, cool. And I would bend my head.
I know. Yeah.
I just couldn't like.
But in a way, I think it's a sign of a good mindset in terms of like that competitiveness. Like you're like, I want to like show these guys how good I am.
Yeah, I had that kind of hunger, but
yeah.
It was like I couldn't just play. I guess was my fault as well. I wasn't able to separate it. So it was like, oh, can you post this photo of for this week on Instagram? It's like the new shoe, and I'd be like, yeah. And then I'd post it, and I'd be like, oh, I'm going to play this week, and people are going to be like, a good new shoe that like that worked well, and I'd be like, you know,
that shoe's crap.
Yeah, that shoe's crap, and he's played crap, so they're all, so I just was trying to. I just found like things were just in the way, and it just bothered me.
Yeah.
But then once I kind of managed to just. Honestly, like I'm just totally over all that stuff now.
I think it was just a maturity thing, or,
yeah.
And obviously, like initially, you're as you said, like it's like, oh my god, like Adidas.
And I was getting like invites to these big tournaments off the back of having a good amateur career.
Right.
So I was playing like really big tournaments. There were invitations.
Okay.
And I just didn't feel like worthy of being there because I was like, it's an invite, and these guys are probably like I want to show them that I'm good enough to be here. Like I was always trying to.
It's like imposter syndrome a wee bit.
Exactly.
So obviously, do you feel like the invites to these competitions, like is it kind of the feeling like I've not actually earned it, but you have earned it because you've got the invitation, you know?
Myself. It's like a wild card in tennis, isn't it? You get in the tournament for being young and up and coming, and you're like, it's a story. So so come in. And
so do you think those first 3 years when you were signed with Adidas and stuff like that, would you say like your performances, or you didn't go in the direction you thought you were going to go in?
I didn't just keep going up like I thought I was going to. I kind of flatlined for a little bit. I was playing really well on like the lower tours,
right?
So I had some really good finishes on some of the lower tours.
Yeah.
But as soon as it was like in the big stage and TV and in front of like all the best players, like Rory would play and like the top guys that were playing, I just found it really hard to deal with that. For some reason, just the way it was.
I can imagine, mate. Like
it was. I just was like,
it's like all the superstars. You've got the pressure of the brand as well. People watching.
And I was so like into like other people at that time. Like if I seen like Rory, I'd always be like, wow, it's like him. And then like I was starstruck. I was wanting to. I was like putting my name down in practice rounds with like the stars as well. Okay. Because I thought
that's pretty cool. So what you could like, is that almost like a request?
It's online. No, it's online. It's like it's like if you're playing a tournament, you put your there's tee times for practice, and you'd be like, oh, he's playing with
Rory's
him.
teeing off it too. I'm really tee off it too.
I'll put my name down there. Obviously, some guys like that big time can just be like, oh, no, I'm playing myself. Just like write it off. So, but sometimes there's spaces with some of the guys and the stars, and I'd be like, I want to play. Like he just won the Masters. Put my name down with him. Yeah. And then I thought that was good for me to see what I could get better at. But actually now I don't do anything like that because I'm like I'm on their schedule. Like, why do I not have my own times that work for me, or why am I not waking up knowing what I'm doing? Like I'm practicing at that time. I'm at the physio at that time. I'm doing everything right. So then when I go and play, like it's I'm on my clock. You know, it's
like obviously when you first turn pro, it's like it's all these bright lights and stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
Whereas after a few years, you're now kind of like, right, okay, I know what I
know it works for me.
I'm doing this for me.
So I'm like, I know it works for me, and I'm like, that's what I'm doing. Like for example, sometimes I'd feel quite tired. And I'd just get up early, play 9 holes, finish by 1 o'clock. Like, what are you doing now? Nothing. My caddy be like, you done for the day? I'm like, I'm done. I'm going back, I'm going to watch TV, and then the next day, I'd be fresh as a daisy.
Yeah.
I'm not practicing till 6 at night.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to practice till 6 at night, but...
Because I listened to you on that podcast, and you said, like, initially some of these first, like, say you arrived in the tournaments, like, at the weekend, like, you were, like, smashing practice rounds, like, Monday to Thursday.
Yeah, well...
And then you were knackered.
There's a tournament... It's called the Alfred Dunhill Links.
Right,
it's
right,
like the biggest tournament, one of the biggest tournaments in Scotland, but it's like main European tournament. All the stars play.
Yeah, is this the one you played with?
I just played recently.
The man from the Vamps.
Yeah,
Brad.
Brad Simpson, the lead singer.
So have you played in that before?
I got an invite.
Right, okay.
When I was first on pro.
Okay.
So it was like one of my pro debuts.
You're at 20.
Yeah. And it was just like, right, I'm ready to play. And I remember like I was just like bagging practice rounds with like Jamie Dornan, the guy who does the 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to play with him. He's a stud. I was like him and like just like seeing. I was like, oh, there's Samuel Jackson.
That's nuts,
isn't it? I was like, that's really cool. I'm like, can you get a picture with him?
Are these guys good
at golf?
Aye.
Well, there's levels, different levels of being good. They're an alright amateur.
Aye.
You know what I mean? So it's like, he's a good, decent player, but obviously not like, just like a half decent amateur level.
That's another thing. These bright lights in it. When you've just done pro.
I was honestly, I put my name down for a practice round with Ruud Hulett. And Vijay Singh. So if you've heard of him, he was the world #1 for golfer for a while. So I was playing with Vijay Singh, who's world #1 golfer for ages.
Yeah.
And Ruud Hulett. Do you know Ruud Hulett?
No. Who's that?
He won Ballon d'Or.
Okay.
Dutch guy with the kind of...
okay. My football knowledge isn't good either.
Clearly. So he was like a massive... So I was playing with two #1s in the sport. Man. Couldn't believe it. Finished playing with them, and Ruud was like, "Oh, come to the like after party for the tournament." I was like, "Oh, I'm going to go."
Brilliant.
I was in there, and Shevchenko, his mates, well, his stars, obviously. You know Shevchenko? You know Luis Figo?
Yeah. I'm not. It's not that bad.
Jamie Redknapp, Luis Figo, Shevchenko. And I'm thinking, my day, this is so cool. My brother was there. I want to get pictures with him.
Unreal, man.
I just wasn't in it though. My head wasn't totally in it. And then, like, I missed the cut. And I just wasn't like firing all cylinders. But I played all right. I felt knackered. I was just. Is that the week?
Is that the week you went and you were like smashing all the?
I was practicing all the time. I'd be done so practicing,
excited.
but then I would see like Rory practicing the bunkers, and I'd be like, I'm going to go practice the bunkers now because he's over there. And also, if he's practicing the bunkers, I need to practice my bunkers. And it's just like, no, that's not how it works. So then I got an invite back this year to the Dunhill again. Obviously, because I had a really good year.
Yeah.
And on like the tour below, and I was
so that was off the back of the top.
I was just about to qualify for the main tour, so they were like, I'm Scottish and it's in Scotland. I was like, let's give this boy another chance because he's going to be playing next year anyway. So I went and I don't know how I got partners with Brad. My management company's run with Niall Horan. So it's kind of music kind of thing. So
yeah, that's pretty cool as well.
Kind of Brad.
So it's like you dropped that in subtly, but that's pretty cool.
It is. Yeah, he's obviously the runner of the kind of business and owns Modest Golf.
So the agency you're now signed with, he's
Niles.
Was he the founder? How do we look up?
So yeah, he's the founder of it with another guy. With his friend Maka, who's I deal with quite a lot as well, obviously. And he's they're basically he was with Modest Management, who's a music industry, and they've got like Little Mix. I mean, they had Michael Jackson signed and stuff, like these really big music stars. One Direction, obviously, Niall. And then he was like, I want to start like my own. I love golf. I want to start my own. So the guys who ran Modest were like, yeah, we'll go in with you. Modest Golf.
All right.
So that's kind of how it worked.
That's how it formed. But obviously for that, he's then get the connections to like
so much stuff.
The singer Brad from the is that how?
I think I'm not sure how that kind of worked. How I managed to play with him. I kind of felt like it was, but I don't think. But Niall's not going to mention it to me. But I kind of got put in the kind of music section. That week, so I was partners with Brad and played with like Ronan Keaton and like other. Is that more of a like just is that like more fun? Like playing in that. It was not really. That's more pressure.
Because there's a lot of prize money.
It's a lot of prize money in the tournament and in the team event as well. And obviously your individual tournament, but you're also playing I'm playing an individual event, and I'm also playing the team event. I'm trying to keep him happy and stuff.
Aye,
it is tough. And then obviously you're playing for money or your life, really, aren't you? Just
$5 million.
It's a $5 million prize fund for the tournament. So obviously,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's massive.
Is that one of the biggest? That you played in?
No, I've played in 8 millions before and stuff like that as well. So
that's crazy.
Yeah,
and that filters down in terms of like position you finish.
Yeah, if you win the tournament, you get like 1.2 million.
Okay.
And if you finish 30th, you get like 50 grand. And if you finish like 60th, you get like 14.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a good opportunity to do well if you're doing well.
But this time round, you were obviously more prepared. You didn't go crazy
totally
training or
ready.
practicing all week for it.
No, I just knew. Well, I just knew what I was doing.
Yeah,
like I'd done it all year. I just knew. I had my own plan. I had my own stuff that I knew I was up to. Practice the stuff I had to practice. Went to the physio that week a couple of times because I felt like don't want to get tight. My back was kind of tight. My glutes were not really feeling that great, so worked on that. Practiced a little bit. Putted a lot because I knew putting was going to be important that week.
Yeah.
By the time the tournament started, felt loose, felt fresh.
Where did you finish in that tournament?
I finished 17th.
17th.
Yeah, so good.
It's a good
payday. And
yeah.
So I finished fourth in the team event with Brad and stuff like that as well, and then kind of worked out quite well. So
in terms of like, obviously you've got sponsors, there's prize money. It's not like, there's not like a contract there. Obviously the contract is probably with the sponsors, but like in terms of when you turn pro, are you like mostly relying on, like, is your income from where you finish in competitions and also sponsors? Like what's the kind of main what's your main source of income, or generally for golfers, for pros anyway?
I don't know, on course.
On course, yeah.
I would reject. I would say no to an off course like endorsement deal.
Yeah.
If it meant I wasn't like happy on the course.
Yeah.
The number one's on course.
That's interesting. Well. That's obviously like a shift in. Cause maybe when you were 20, would you have just been like, that sounds good, I'm going to go for that? Or would you say you've matured to the point where like? Yeah,
probably a bit actually. Yeah, when I was young and if someone offered me like a sponsorship, I was like, yeah.
If
absolutely. It takes up like 3 days or 4 days, I'd be like, that's probably not worth it because I don't have really 4 days I could totally spare, and then I'd like to not have be kind of free and stuff like that. So the people that I have like sponsorship deals with now are really good companies and like they fit my kind of image and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if I want to say it online, but like a company where
it's not like really representative of you kind of thing.
I wouldn't take a. I wouldn't want to disrespect anyone else. But
no defamation. Don't say anything bad about any.
I wouldn't put like a beer company in front of my or something like that. It just didn't suit my kind of image. So I'd be like, no. So I'd maybe like other stuff. Kind of, if it works for you, it works for you. I know like if it works for someone else, then crack on, or whatever. But I'll just kind of make sure it all suits my kind of
So
the way I like to be, and clean and fresh, and all my sponsors are very. Like really nice. I've got Puma on the front of my hat.
You've got Puma, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's my main.
Puma's a main sponsor.
I've got Nexus on the side of my hat, which is my dad's company. Who, because I'm on main tour now, he was like, I want to be there. I want it, and then I've got Evans Vanadine, which is a chemical solution company, on my right sleeve. I've got a company called Golf Poser. On my left chest, obviously the Puma tag, the Puma's there. Golf Poser, which is a website and like a really big social media platform where people see all the new styles of clothing. So I kind of wear all the different styles of clothing, and then they promote it, and works well for both of us because obviously I'm getting more attention in social media, and obviously if I'm wearing it,
it's good for the brand as well. Yeah,
exactly, and for Puma. And then on my left sleeve, I've got like a Volley Music, which is Modest managed to help me get, like all of them, kind of in the music industry and stuff like that as well. And I've got Kinetica, which is a well, they do loads of stuff, but like a protein supplements, stuff like that. Loads of different things for on course, and pretty good company, which they're involved with some pretty good stars as well. Like Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Joanna Conta.
I had a wee look actually, on
so it's really good. If you need any Kinetica stuff, let me know, because
there we go.
They're really good as well. I know you're mad.
Soccer supplements.
Exactly.
Soccer supplements.
Exactly. So no, they're really good, and everything. All the stuff's fantastic. So
and then shoes, Puma
head to toe,
and then all the golf stuff is Cobra.
All Cobra. Who are associated with them, and I've also got a golf ball deal with the police.
I know.
Hopefully they're not after me. I've got a golf ball deal with Titleist.
Right, okay, cool.
Quite good.
It's crazy, mate. Like you just don't like
mad
see
stuff.
All those sponsors going on.
I mean, I'd use the ball. I'd use the ball anyway.
Aye.
But
mate, I was listening to you again back in that podcast, and I think you said when you were younger you used to take like 30 balls off Titleist, was it maybe, or 30 balls a season? I was thinking, mate, I'd need 30 balls like per round.
No. I use a new ball after every like 3 holes.
Right, okay.
I get like maybe like 30 dozen.
Right, and it's not because you lose them.
No, it's because as soon as they get like you hit them, they might have like a little tear.
Yeah,
and it'll lift the friction in the air, obviously when it's flying.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Little stuff
the
like
intricacies,
when you're spinning it, it'll spin. And
so every three holes, you've got a new.
Let's change it up, and put a new one playing. I like it all fresh and clean and new, and like a new glove, new this, new that.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's all fresh and clean, and you're in the right mindset then.
So see, going back to like obviously your sponsors are supporting you, but then also competition prize money, and like the rewards are really high. But I feel like it's difficult. You know what I mean? Because is it possible? You know, pros will go, they'll maybe win one tournament and then maybe not again for months on end, and then it's like shit. Like, do you feel pressure to be like shit? Like I need to win one soon because like I've not got a payday. I've not had a payday in months.
I guess that's part of like having a good team around you, good endorsements.
Yeah, true. So they can soften that as well.
Can soften
they
it a
support
lot
you
if you're in with the right people and stuff. But I guess that's part of the pressure. But I guess that's in every sport, isn't it?
That's
do
true.
Well, or
but I suppose in other sports, it's
like I speak about that with my brother and stuff. Like
individual sports like tennis, obviously, it's the same.
Like in football, at least you can be injured and you're still getting your payday a month or a week, whatever you're getting.
So if you get injured though, like it's just your sponsors that are supporting you.
I'll just need to.
It's tough that I think
it is tough that, and it's part of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then
that's why the paydays are probably
higher
nice
and doing well.
Yeah.
And stuff. If you're doing really well, then you're really stable and everything's good. You just need to accept you're not going to play well all the time.
Yeah.
And when you're playing well, just take advantage of it.
Yeah.
But that's just the pressure of sport. You need to deal with it, and that's it. If you can't deal with it, then probably in the wrong kind of game, and it's just all part of it. Like I've kind of accepted that as well. I just think sometimes there's really a lot of pressure, and it's just like, well, man up and deal with it, or
yeah.
You know, that's it.
Yeah,
so
just
exactly.
Get on
with it.
Exactly.
Just handle it.
So see, in terms of the Challenge Tour and now the European Tour, like, is there a big increase in prize money? In terms of
So last year I was.
So typically, like, are you saying like where do you need to finish to get paid in the Challenge Tour?
It's always the same. Like there's the top 60 that make the cut. Top 60, top 65 always that make the cut. So they play the first 2 days. Top 60, 65 make the cut. So you're going to get paid if you make the cut.
Yeah.
You'll miss a bunch of cuts in a year as well. Just happens. Maybe not like the course. Maybe not play well.
Yeah.
You'll obviously make a lot as well. Cuts.
And does each
depends where you finish in the tournament.
Yeah. Does each tournament differ though in terms of the prize money? Or is it pretty consistent?
On Chance Tour, they're all like from 2 to 300,000, and that's the prize fund for the full.
Okay.
So if you win the tournament, you're getting from like 32,000 to 50,000.
Okay.
And then it filters down.
Yeah.
All the way down. So
okay.
if you finish like last, you're picking up like 1,000.
Okay.
Which really is not, which is nothing because you're paying 1,000 to be there.
Yeah.
You know, it's a pretty tough gig. So if you're finishing last and after making the cut. So
yeah.
But on main tour, it's obviously a lot more. I mean, you're playing from minimum purse is 2 million.
Wow.
And then
it's a big difference.
Massive. And then you're playing up to 10 million.
Yeah.
10 million.
Big year for you. That's exciting though.
Yeah, it's
that must
really
be exciting.
And then you're playing tournaments that have got like I don't really like talking about money that much. I just like to just play, and I just like, honestly, see if I'm in a good place and I'm like happy and everything's just nice and relaxed, and I play well. Yeah.
Like, it's interesting for me just to see the kind of like the differences in the way it works.
That's the thing. It's a massive step. Actually, the Challenge Tour is a really, really good tour. It's just the tour below the main tour. Yeah. It's really hard to get on that tour. There's loads of good players who aren't on the Challenge Tour. They're on like many tours because they can't, because there's only 5 guys each year from the mini tours that go on that. There's only like 3 mini tours.
Okay. So it's difficult.
It's really, really hard to get on the Challenge Tour. So I managed to do that off invites. I only had 8 starts from invites. That's the maximum amount of invites you can get on Challenge Tour.
Okay.
Kept my card straight, like with the 8 starts.
Yeah.
And played, which is really good. That's what I was saying. I was playing well and kind of a little bit below, but the main stage I wasn't really firing all cylinders. But then, so it's really hard to get on Challenge Tour. But because the level's that good and the rate of success from going from Challenge Tour to main tour is so high now. Okay. Like so many guys have won majors and stuff. Yeah. They've increased the prize fund for next year, so it's a lot more next year. Yeah, because
I saw. Am I right in saying like they're changing to
the World Tour?
Aye, they're changing to the
DP World Tour.
Because that makes sense, because it's pretty much a World Tour, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're affiliated with the PGA Tour, like all over the world now. So it's like it's changed, and that's obviously a big backing from people endorsements are going right into the tour now, so that's why the prize funds are just so high.
Yeah.
Massive companies all over the world want to be involved in it, and
Aye.
yeah, so it's really cool. But I mean,
so when does the next kind of season, like, what is there a typical season in terms of when it runs? Like,
it's always 12 months. It's just non-stop.
So there's no there's no off season for you. There's never
you
a
take
time.
your own little time off. You get off like Christmas, New Year off. But right now I'm supposed to be in South Africa.
Yeah.
Playing in the South African Open, but it's because of that new Omicron variant. I don't know what it's called.
Omicron.
Yeah, we're obviously all just rooted again. So
when do you typically take time off? Will you take time off?
Yeah. I'm booked to go to Dubai on Monday, and I'm supposed to be going there to chill, kind of, because I was supposed to be. But
you already tell me what you've got planned. Yeah, loads of golf.
I've got loads of practice and stuff planned. I've got some chill days and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Just jet skiing and just normal kind of boys, fun kind of things. But it was supposed to be more chill because I thought it was going to be a long season. I'm playing 2 weeks in South Africa and then I'm going away, so I thought I'd use that time to chill. But now that I've kind of not been at the tournaments, I feel like I need to get practicing again, get back on. Back on the kind of.
So if we go back to, like, for me, just looking at you and knowing you've to me it looks like I know you've sacrificed a lot in terms of, like, what we were talking about at the start is, like, boys fade off, they're going out, they're doing other things. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, do you feel as though you made a lot of sacrifices growing up?
Yeah, well, I totally did. I mean, I'd like, just in terms of hardly ever been home at the weekends. Yeah. Like, missing, like, you know, when all your pals have got this big night out, and you're just like in the group chat, but you know you're not going, and you're thinking that would be fun. But to be honest, I never really felt like it was a sacrifice, because I just knew that what I'm doing is just
you had this vision.
I just knew what I was doing was for me, so it never felt really like a sacrifice. Even though like my friends from school always be like, I can't believe you used to just like practice all the time and be in the rain practicing and now I'm like, but I didn't feel like sacrifice. I knew I had to and I wanted to. I didn't have to, but I felt like, well, I need to do this to get better. I need to do this. I want to be there, and it was just like. And I enjoyed it. I just enjoyed the process of getting better, and you can always get better. And you obviously
saw, like, the more you practice, you saw that instantly, like, feeding back into your game.
Feeding back into my game, and just seeing, like, friends excel, and me, I just wanted to get where they are, and I just knew I could do it. Yeah. I just wanted to keep pushing and getting better, and I just, like I said to you earlier, I just couldn't get out of my head. I was like, I know I'm going to do it. Yeah. I'm just going to do it. And I still live a normal life where I'd still go to the odd party and dinners with friends and stuff like that.
Do you think, though, like, for any, like, young golfers listening, do you feel as though if you didn't make, I know you're saying they weren't sacrifices, but you sacrificed a lot, mate, and it's credit to you, because a lot of young people can't do that.
Yeah, and a lot of young people couldn't just leave when they're 14 and go to America by themselves.
No way,
family.
Mate. It takes guts and confidence and bravery.
I just wanted it that much, and I think
because the fear of, like, a lot, that would have a lot of fear for a lot of people. Yeah, and that's what puts people off doing
anything.
Definitely,
like, you can fail, but again,
but you never have that. You never had that. You were just so focused. It sounds like.
Yeah, and if I failed, it was just like time to get better.
Yeah,
I just never had time. If I had that bad tournament, I'd be sad, and I'd phone home or whatever, and I'd phone my coach and be like, "This is just," and they'd be like, "Right, what are we going to do to get better then?" It was never like, "Well, stop then." It was just like, "Well, get better then." Or otherwise, don't moan.
Back to practice, back to the drawing board.
Finishing the Sunday or finishing the Friday because I missed the cut, and straight away I was in the range the next morning. I was just like, I need to get better. And again, I couldn't wait to get to the range because I wanted to sort it. So
do you think you'd be in the position you are if you hadn't, done all those things, worked as hard as you did? Because I read something, like, your dad was saying, like, just done a bit of research on you, but an article on the BBC, like, your dad said when you left school, there was like 8-hour days where you're practicing for 4 hours in the course, and then like that's intense from a young age.
I was also waking up when I was at business.
Didn't you have to do that? Like, would you
guys are doing that?
Yeah,
I mean, if you need,
that's the standard
the level.
Yeah,
it's just the standard's so high. Yeah, you need to be on it.
Yeah,
strike's got to be perfect. The feel's got to be perfect. Everything needs to be on it. Yeah, and I just want that to be on it. Like, I used to, when I was at Bearsden Academy, I used to go and practice before school.
Yeah, did you?
I used to practice before school, and then if I had like I'd phone my dad at lunch and be like, Dad, I need to go and practice. I've thought about
golf.
And he'd be like, just don't worry.
Sitting in classes thinking golf.
We would just be like, don't worry about the next 2 classes. Just let's go. I'll pick you up. We'll go to the practice. My dad was so into getting better as well. And
so he had a big influence on you.
A really big influence, and also he just had a pal to play golf with, didn't he, and stuff like that. So, but no, I'm also lucky that my dad has like a little business himself, and it's not a big, massive business, but it's quite successful in his own right. Where I always felt like I had a kind of fallback there, or my dad would kind of help me out if anything, and I knew he was kind of doing okay for himself, where I could, which is a really big kind of relief as well. Where some other people might feel pressure because
do you think did he ever put pressure on you?
I still feel a bit of pressure off him now. Yeah, it's quite an intimidating kind of got an aura about him and stuff like that. And I always, because it's your dad, like your dad, everyone's got it with their dad. You know, they respect your own father, don't you? So I feel like I don't drink in front of him. I just don't.
Why?
I just, out of respect for him, and I just like to try and like take care of him, and he's took care of me for so long. I just like to try and my brother and stuff, like I'll drink is when I leave him. If I'm having a drink that night, I don't drink in general. But if I was going out for a party that night or something, I just don't do it in front of him because I always feel like if he wants to lift home, I'll take him home. If he wants to go somewhere, I can drive him. And I just like to be in control of my kind of emotions and everything when he's there, you know. And I just like to.
It sounds like you're maybe you're almost by doing that. You're almost like just. It's almost like saying thanks a little bit, paying him back for maybe the things that he did for you when you were.
And I also
really
don't know if I could ever pay him back because I know when I went to America, the schooling and where I was living and stuff, I didn't even realise this at the time, but he was struggling to pay that off. I kind of thought I was there for free.
Was he paying for you?
He was paying for where I was living and all that.
Wow.
Obviously, you have to because I live there. Yeah. And I didn't realise that now, but he tells me now, like I was struggling at that point, thinking like, but I just done it because I knew how much he wanted to do it. Yeah. So now, obviously, I can kind of pay for things myself and stuff, and I can't afford to buy him really anything right now apart from the odd little Calvin Klein boxers for Christmas. For his Christmas, it's a fortune, it's a rip-off. So I can't really
50 quid for some pants, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's brutal, but they're obviously the end fashion ones, aren't they? So I can't obviously pay him back right now, but I'm hoping I can eventually. That'd be the kind of the ultimate goal, isn't it? For anybody, but so
that's pretty special. Are you? Would you say you're close to your family? Are they like?
Yeah, massively. Yeah. Like, my dad deals with everything for me. I just phone him all the time. My little brother as well. Just like deal with like literally everything. Just take all the. My brother just takes like all the hits for me, and then I get the kind of. My dad's always in a good mood with me. I always feel like my dad's in a good mood because he takes it all out in my brother and stuff like that. But
so would the family come and support you and stuff like when you're travelling?
Yeah, my brother used to come to every tournament.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, every tournament until he started kind of settling down. He got a dog, girlfriend. He's just a baby.
He's not allowed to go any.
Well, it's not that. It's just he's got duties and he's got to work and he's got to pay off his bills and do things right. So. Doesn't come as much, but still comes to the big ones. Yeah. Came to the last tournament when I got my card. Came to the Dunhill and Links Championship. My dad was there. They all come. They just love it. Love cheering me on. Like, love when I make a putt, going crazy. And
so is that like your team?
That's my team.
Do you have a team as well?
I've got Modest, obviously. Quite a big deal with things. Deal with girl Katie deals with like. My flights, my hotels, so I talk to her a lot. And obviously right now we're travelling, need so many passenger care forms, all these like tests, and she makes sure it's all booked and up to date, and I'm on it, so I'm dealing with her a lot. Jack and Maka are kind of running other things, helping me out, looking at my sponsors, contracts and stuff. Niall kind of oversees everything, just make sure you're good and working hard and stuff like that. And they deal with.
And will he come out
things for me?
Like will they come to?
Yeah, obviously last year not really. As soon as they can, whenever they can come out. There's always one person from the company that
okay, cool.
Just to make sure everything oversee everything, make sure you're sweet. My dad comes sometimes. My mum loves it. So they're always there, and I've got
physio.
Physio was there.
Physio sounds like quite a big role.
Yeah, recently, because I'd never used to feel like I get little niggles and little things. And I think if I did, I never thought it would actually bother me. Yeah. Then I realised like that does bother me. Like I'm not moving the same, or I notice like in small details like my club head speed might be down a little bit, or I'm not swinging as fast, ball speed's not the same, or ball flight's not that good because little things in your bodies aren't right. I just came straight from the physio to here. Yeah. He's my physio's up in St Andrews. Right. So I was up there. And then my psychologist is a massive help this year. I just started with him at the start of the year.
Did you?
Yeah. I always never really got on like a psychologist. I always just thought I can deal with myself. I never really. But then if you get the right one, and the stuff they can help you with.
How did you find this psychologist?
Through Modest and stuff.
Are they a sports psychologist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He works with everything's like private. Like I said, he works with football players and stuff like that as well, and deals with sport.
And what kind of things? What kind of things that like
dealing with handling pressure and dealing with situations. He's also like a bit of a performance coach.
Yeah.
So like, well, he's not meant to be a performance coach, he's a psychologist, but I get that kind of vibe from him as well. Like, why was that not good? We'd kind of work it out, and it comes back to like high performance. So he had quite a big role in the last year for you then. Yeah. Big impact. Yeah, just dealing with stuff and how massive. I speak to him all the time. Speaking to him tonight. I speak to him. It's always something I'm doing. But yeah, he's I found him a really, really big help, and I tried psychology before, and after like a couple, I just like, it's boring. I'm not getting anything from that. I know everything's telling me, it's like this is just, handle it better. But then this guy has techniques and stuff. Okay. And I really found them really good.
Like for example, a technique that's going to help, like before you go and hit a shot or something like that.
Processes of shots, dealing with things if they go out of place, or there's noises, or someone moving the crowd, or getting back into your routine. So I need to always go back to my caddy and talk about that as well, because this is what I'm working with. Ways I was handling being in the lead in tournaments and stuff. Yeah. When I was an amateur, I used to just be like, I'm in this, let's do it and stuff. Yeah. And I would just be like, right, let's get on with it. Yeah. But then when you're an amateur, you're not playing for any money or anything, or you're just kind of playing to show you're good. So there's no like, can I come down if you reward, lose? There's no. If you win, it's just like I won. If you don't win, it's just like, I didn't win, but I finished like second or third. Yeah. But now it's like, obviously it's a big deal if you finish first, second, or third, or if you can win bad hole, you finish 10th, you make a triple bogey on the last, so it's like dealing with it properly.
It's high pressure, isn't it?
Yeah, I was saying stuff like the same stuff now. Like I'd be like, I'm in this, let's do it. Like I'm going to win, or I've got a chance here, and I was like consuming my full body in that pressure by saying these things. Yeah, like I've got a chance here. All of a sudden, every nerve turned on. Yeah, I've got a chance here. Yeah, yeah. But if you see other stuff like my processes are really good here. Aye, let's keep that right. Then your nerves are off. You're turning your nerves off because you're just concentrate on the process and the shot outcome doesn't matter as much as long as your process is good.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah, it is. So I was dealing with that stuff, making sure the process is right, making sure my process is the same amount of time all the time. Don't want like your process being 30 seconds till you hit the ball. Yeah. And then when you're under pressure, it might take 50. Yeah. I'm trying to make it a 30 all the time, whether really it's under pressure or it's a normal shot. Yeah. So it's the same. It's like, like I said, there's so many small little things I deal with it. Always loads of other stuff as well, but just in a bit more personal kind of detail. But yeah, but
I think in particular for like yourself, like because you are playing by yourself, like I feel like that could have a massive, like obviously it has had a massive positive impact on your on your game and stuff.
Definitely, like we even talk about stuff like how are you feeling this week? My 6th week in a row playing in another country every week. I'd be like, I'm knackered. And he's like, right, we need to find a way to play being knackered here this week. Yeah. Because I was like, I'm taking next week off because I'm done. Yeah. But I'm just going to play this week. And he'd be like, right, you're obviously not in the right headspace because you're talking, something doesn't seem right. So let's find a way. He's like, right, what can you do? I was like, hit less drivers. Okay. Takes up more energy. Hit a driver. If you're tired, you're probably hit more slack shots. Yeah. Less drivers. Make sure you hit the fairway. Hit a 3-wood. Make sure you hit the fairway. So it's almost like let's play a C game. Yeah. Or a B game. Yeah. And I kind of work out a way to play good. Yeah.
It sounds like he's almost like drawing the ideas, like in your head, but he's like drawing them out and being like yes, like these are the bits you need to focus on. Because
you forget it, don't you? Or like the amount of times I've been tired and just tried to go out and play like normal. Aye. And then it's not played well and been wondered why. But just go out and play a kind of tired game. You can do it and still perform. Yeah. So that's kind of the main people.
So in terms of like, I was looking at world rankings and stuff like that. Wait, what is your?
Right now, I'm not that sure. I think I got up to like 230 at one point. Okay. Now I'm like 300 because I've not played for a little while. So I'm like 300 in the world. But
does that change after every
week?
After every week, it changes
all the time. Yeah. Like last week I moved the wrong way or something. Didn't even play.
Yeah.
So the people were playing somewhere.
In the world, Okay. It's always shifting.
It's always shifting. I mean, one good event, you're flying again. Obviously. Yeah.
And I take it like all this, like with the amount of traveling and stuff you do, like you've got to love that aspect of it.
Yeah, I love
because you've been literally
thing
across the globe, haven't you?
Yeah, everywhere. I love the traveling thing. I find like a kind of peacefulness of just being in the airport and just chilling, just watch people watching.
Yeah.
Get a coffee and just watch people walk by and just like, oh, that's cool. I wonder what he's up to. Like, what's he doing? You know, just and all of a sudden 3 hours have gone by and you're on the flight.
Yeah.
And just I can sleep really well, so I sleep on planes. I like watching movies.
Yeah.
Netflixes, docuseries, stuff like that. So I was always just find quite
yeah.
chilling and relaxing and just get on with it. And
where's your favourite place to go to play or to travel to?
I love the States.
States.
I love the States. I love the kind of vibe there. The people are always so happy and just in a good mood. And I just like the kind of atmosphere in the States. The golf's good, music's good. I just like America. And it doesn't get dark. It doesn't get dark. And you can always find somewhere that in the winter the weather's still good. So I quite like that as well, to be honest.
So, one question I like to ask is why are you playing? Why are you what are you kind of striving for? And in your head, so you've obviously when you were younger you had this vision of I want to play, I want to go pro. But now you are pro. Do the goalposts move?
Yeah, I think I never.
Do you set yourself goals?
Yeah, I think a lot of people can want to turn pro, but it doesn't mean that much really. I think it's obviously good, but obviously if your depends what your level is, where you want to get to. It was always wanting to be top 50 in the world, top 10 in the world, playing in majors, competing in majors, give myself a chance to win these big championships, and I think that's.
So will you set yourself targets at the start of the year? Or?
Yeah, my set target for next year would be let's try and get as close to the top 100 in the world as possible. You know, I don't set myself the highest level that I'm trying to get, but I kind of build it up until I get there, and then things change each year. So get myself try and get myself kind of top 100, try and win a tournament. You know, but again, you can't control that. Yeah. So if I get myself in contention, it's almost good enough for me as long as I deal with my things right. And if I win, I get over the line, then fantastic. But if someone outplays me or gets a little break here and there and wins, fair play to him. So as long as I'm controlling myself, then I'm happy with that. That's why I say if I'm getting myself in contention, it's a win for me. As long as I deal with myself. Yeah, right,
I think that's really interesting though. There's so many things you can't control. Yeah, but what you touched on about process and stuff, as long as you are nailing your processes, that's the best you can do. Yeah. And you can't come away ever feeling
sad then or anything like that. Yeah, and if you can come away feeling sad that you might hit a bad shot, but I dealt with everything else right, but then that bad shot might come from technique, so I make sure I work on that. And, so there's always something to kind of get at. But yeah, so that would be my kind of goals, dealing with everything right. And
so over the next year, top goal,
100, win a tournament. That'd be it. Or just get myself in contention to win. And if I get over the line, then great. But I feel like I can. I feel like I can do it. I feel like I'm ready. I know where my game's at. I've got a really good team in place, like I told you. I'm kind of happy to. Yeah, I mean,
from what you're saying, it sounds like obviously you can't question you're completely focused, but it sounds like you've got yourself to a good place in terms of you've had a lot of experiences, turning pro quite young, playing in big tournaments and stuff, and you've learned a lot.
And I've also spoke to a lot of people who have been in the situation who have made mistakes, and they've told me and stuff, and I've kind of just resonated with it and thought that would make sense to me. I think ultimately, if you're happy, kind of off the course and in a good place and everything's going well, you've put yourself in that best position to play well. It gives you the best opportunity to play good. Something's kind of lingering in your mind. It's you're just gonna start getting angry in the course. You start getting frustrated with yourself, and so I always try and make sure I'm in that kind of position. And
that's it.
Takes care of itself.
That's it. I think with sports though, people often don't see that side of it. They see the golfer, the football player, or tennis player, whatever, and it's he was brilliant last week or 2 weeks ago or last year, but what's wrong with him? And so people don't realise, people that don't play sport don't realise that quite often it's what's happening away from the sport that can actually have a big impact. If things aren't right at home or whatever, family, social,
I get so annoyed when I see he's going through he's not playing well right now, or he's losing it and stuff. It's just he's not losing anything. He's exactly the same. What might happen is, Jesus, his mum might have got COVID and feels sick, and he's just worried about it.
You just don't know.
Yeah, loads of stuff. He might have I don't know, his dog might have died.
Exactly,
Stuff, and it does little stuff, and you might have an off day, or it's just the way it is. And there's so much things outside the sport that can affect you.
Yeah,
like
but I feel like fans and they just see like
it's so annoying.
They just see the football player, the tennis player, the golf player, and they just forget.
They're living, they're doing other stuff. That's like
they're real humans.
Yeah,
they're real humans.
Stuff goes on with them, and then you feel. Actually, I go to quite a lot of football games right now, and I always think like when I see like some players doing really well, I wonder why he's doing really well right now. Obviously, they're more confident and stuff, and I always feel like when they're doing really well for so long, I'm always like, I wonder when he's going to go off.
Yeah,
you can't keep being at that level for that long.
Yeah,
or like in football terms,
it's true, yeah.
You can't do it for like 8 games in a row. Is a lot to be that good.
Yeah,
and then like when it goes wrong, why?
Yeah, I honestly think, mate, I would put it down to a lot. Obviously, a lot. Sometimes people just have bad games, bad rounds.
Bad stuff happens.
Whatever. But a lot of the time, when someone's form's off, it's nothing to do with like what they're doing, or, like on the course, or whatever like that, or on the pitch. It's like what's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, other stuff going on, and I'm always interested. I want to know why. Like, I always think when it's I always watch the Premier League games just because it's just like just love sport, but football and stuff in general as well. And I always surprised there's not more mistakes get made.
Yeah,
especially like defensively.
Yeah,
I think sometimes because I don't play football, I'm always like thinking you must get something must be dead nervous there. A little off touch, the guy's through and scores.
Yeah,
I'm surprised more stuff like that doesn't happen. You see it happen now and then, but you never see it happen that much, don't you know?
Yeah.
You think there'd be more mistakes happen.
Yeah, it is interesting. Just like people realising that there's more than just the golfer or
exactly. There's so much stuff going on, like this fall out with people. You fall out your girlfriend before you play, and all of a sudden,
throws you off.
Yeah, you need to make sure you're just on it.
Yeah,
and that's why it's all about being involved with the right people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You read about stuff like that all the time, don't you? You read about stuff like that all the time, like quotes about having the right team around you and all that, and you always think, good one. But actually, it's so true, isn't it? All these little cliche stuff ends up being so important.
Do you feel like you're in a really good place? Is there anything that you still want or still think you need, like a team member, or is there anything that or do you think you're pretty settled and ready to go into this kind of European tour?
I feel like I'm ready and totally ready. Like I'm buzzing to get going. I feel like just keeping the standard high and doing it, but I'm definitely ready. It's just like I said, just keep yourself in a good place, keep yourself happy, and go for it. Really, when the opportunity comes, just like I said, just get your finger out and just get on with it. Yeah, deal with it.
And when you wake up in the morning, what motivates you? What gets you up and out and on at that course and practicing day after day?
I think just getting better is just like an addiction, and you just want to keep doing it. And I just want to, like I said, I just do it for myself now. So I'm want to be the best version of myself on the course. Doing well in tournaments always inspires you. Feelings that you had when you're doing well, and then you're always like, I want to do better now. I want to get better, because you're always seeing friends as well. I've got friends who do really well in it, and it totally inspires me to get better as well. Yeah,
because I said this. I was speaking to one of the previous episodes. It was like there was a quote I listened to, and it's like, "Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future." Yeah, and it's like people that you surround yourself with. Like, see if they're good people, they're inspiring people, they're going places, they're working on themselves, they're doing things. Like it makes you, pushes you that little bit further as well.
Definitely. I was on the phone yesterday. I was going to St Andrews, and I was on the phone to a friend who plays on the main tour as well, and talking for ages about stuff. When the phone call finished, I felt in a good mood. I felt like I wanted to work harder. Felt like I'm going to go to bed early tonight. I'm going to have this for dinner. Like
that's
I was
amazing,
into what I was.
There's no better feeling than that, though, is there?
It's so good, rather than I don't know. Like some other people might talk to, and you might end up just
dragging you down. But some people do just their energy drainers.
You don't really realise it at the time, I guess. I know. It's just like I think that's my mate.
But the more you surround yourself with these people, they're like positive people.
So
good.
But they're not even trying to be positive. It's just the way they are. They've got their own goals. They've got their stuff set up, and I'm like, and sometimes I came off that call as well yesterday, and I thought. We're like best mates. I was thinking to myself, he's doing that, I'm not doing that. I better start doing that. And stuff like that as well. And I'd be like, what are you up to later? And he's like, I'm going to practice my putting a bit. And I'm like,
that's you off to to the range.
Yeah, it's funny. So just putting yourself in good positions with really good people, and obviously people just make you laugh and feel good as well.
That's a mindset thing as well. Like just constantly striving and driving for more.
Definitely.
Like that attitude. Like to come off the call and you're like, right, he's doing that right, I'm going to do that as well.
And that's why I end up feeling motivated when I get up. I'm planned the kind of night before. I'm with the right people. Or
And that's why you've been so successful, though.
And when you get older as well, you want a house.
Exactly.
You want a car, and you want, I don't know.
You want a good life.
You want a good life, exactly. That motivates you as well, because you want
exactly, mate, 100%.
a nice family, a nice life, and just
to me, that's like that's the real reason why. Maybe not for you, but for me, it's like why are you doing things? And it's like it's for that. It's like to have a nice life, to have a good life.
And ultimately, that's why you work, isn't it?
Yeah,
stuff, so.
yeah. So it's almost time for the quick fire questions.
Oh no.
I'm
not a quick thinker.
You don't know them.
Yeah,
I've not told you them at the start.
I want to hear them.
So before we get onto those, just touch on, you've probably already mentioned it, but what would you say is your highest moment as a golfer so far?
Getting my full tour card, getting myself to the top level of the game, definitely. Now I'm there, you just want to keep getting better, and it's again another motivator, and that's my pinnacle so far.
Do you celebrate your wins, your successes?
Yeah, if I'm doing well and stuff like that, I'll treat myself to kind of a few days off or little chill time, or like I went to America and met some friends and played golf there. Still play golf. Golf's always kind of involved because it's part of my kind of life, but play golf, but kind of chilled golf is nice, and like go to like kind of music, kind of concerts and stuff like that, like music and stuff. And
because I do think sometimes like people who are successful, especially in sports, like it's not sometimes until the end that you look back and you actually like you're like that was unreal, that was class. Like sometimes when you're in the moment, like
you don't realise it as much.
I reckon when you got that card, you're like thinking straight away. Rather than being like brilliant, like that's me. It's like right, okay. I've got like what's next?
That's exactly what I was like. I wasn't even that happy to be honest. I was just like, right, that's what I was meant to get anyway. So now I need to. What's next? Yeah, what I need to do the next things. You don't really celebrate, but at the same time, like I'm not one for like going out and just getting like pished and stuff like that. Yeah. So just kind of as long as I'm just in a good, like I said, just like trying to be happy in that and just have a good time.
So in contrast, maybe it's a slightly negative tone, but what's the lowest moment you've had in golf?
Lowest moment was a couple of years in a row. Like 2018, 2019, just missing out on my card.
Okay.
And then started 2020, not that good. And I remember just feeling really low, phoning home and just being like, wow, keep just missing out. I've started this year bad. Like, maybe I'm just not good enough. Is
that when you were saying earlier you were questioning yourself?
Yeah, totally was.
Like, were you questioning yourself whether or not you were good enough to kick on?
I didn't know. I was kind of lost. So I was thinking to myself, I don't know what else to do to get better. And managed to kind of work that out. And then managed to kind of get over that line. But I remember thinking, like, I'm doing everything I can. How am I not getting my card? For the main tour, and how am I not? Why do I keep just missing out? What is it about me that makes me miss out? And then the next year started, and I'm still not kind of downer. Didn't do well. Wasn't playing well. And I was like, why? Like, I was thinking maybe I'm just not. You know, when you think I was like maybe I'm just not good enough. You know, but I'm quite realistic. So I was like, you know, I'm just like maybe I'm not. Like, you know, there's a lot of pretenders out there that think they're brilliant. I was like, maybe it's just not for me. But I knew, again, the back of my head, I was like, I know, but I am. I just need to work out what it is. And then, like, people at home, like my brother and my dad and, like, my management company and modest and stuff would just be like, no, you just need to get out and practice. You need to get better. Find what it is. And I feel like I managed to kind of work out what it is, find things that make me better, and I've kind of excelled a wee bit and managed to improve from there.
And that, I think having an experience like that just makes you like stronger.
Definitely, And I think in some ways it might have been a blessing in disguise just missing my card when I was younger, because maybe I wasn't ready. You know.
Well, it sounds like maybe you weren't. You know, even when you talk about the first time you played the
downhill, playing for the wrong reasons, playing for other people, trying to please people. Now maybe you kind of get ready and you're
I said all those experiences.
You mature, like I was saying to you earlier, you just kind of, everyone matures at different levels. I've obviously just turned 25 and I feel kind of ready to go now.
Okay, I think it's quick fire time. You ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so 10 quick fire questions. Number 1, what's your favourite golf club?
I think my putter.
Your putter?
Yeah, putter's the one.
Interestingly though, I had a wee look here and someone had described your flop shot skills as insane. Is that true?
Yeah, who was it that said that?
It was an article.
Yeah.
Your flop shot skills are insane. That's not done with a putter though, is it?
No, that's done with a sand wedge, But I mean, sometimes it's like tricky shots. Okay. It's a really tricky shot to do. I like practicing and stuff because it's fun. But I mean, putter's the one that gets you over the line, and so when you finish the tournament, you use your putter. So it's the end of the hole or something. So I think putter, even though I change my putter quite a lot, it's my favourite thing to kind of, it's the most pressure, so I like dealing with it.
Who's your favourite golfer? Past or present?
I think probably, obviously everyone says Tiger, but if I was to say it out with him, I'd probably say like Rory and like Sergio Garcia.
Okay.
Just like the way they are. Rory's just a gent, and he's just so honest in the media and so like humble, but so good. He's
Just
like
holds himself well.
Yeah,
But
he's like the only superstar that's actually acts like a totally normal guy. You know, it's like Tiger's like you couldn't even get near him.
Yeah.
But Rory would probably say hi to you. And,
Yeah. Would you say you've modelled like your?
I did when I was younger until I managed to. I kind of found my own way now and feel like.
Were you looking up to Rory?
Not really. I tried to model myself in someone like a similar frame build,
Okay.
stuff like that. Someone that I felt like I could match their speeds, or someone that I felt like was on a good level for me. Rory's an absolute superstar, isn't he? So I mean, you want to go yourself for someone. Like maybe model myself in like kind of Sergio, who's a superstar as well.
Yeah.
But like I felt like similar stature, similar build, similar height. Felt like we had kind of could maybe do things that he could try and do. So I wanted to kind of base myself on him. You know, not quite just go looking at Tiger and going, I want to be like Tiger. I mean, really,
yeah. Number 3, what is the worst course or most difficult?
The most difficult course. Probably Carnoustie.
Carnoustie?
Yeah, it's in Scotland and it's so hard.
Is it?
And when it gets windy and everything like that, it's really, really difficult. If you're playing well, you can do. I quite like it, a difficult course though, because if you're playing good and you're on your game, you can conquer it. But oh man, the mental grind out there is just so hard. You can hit really good shots and you're just screwed. Yeah, and it's really hard. So say Carnoustie. So
Carnoustie's most difficult.
Yeah.
What's your favourite course you've ever played at?
I don't like the old course in St Andrews, like Kingsbarns. I think
although you like going abroad and playing in the warm weather, home's.
It's because especially in golf, because obviously Scotland's the home of golf. It's the home of just where golf started. Yeah. And I'm into like the history of the game and stuff. Yeah. So when I'm there. It's like
has to be a Scottish course, doesn't it?
It's just like wow. It's just like all the people that have been there, won there, like stood there, like it's just so cool. Obviously, you go to all these different courses, and they end up just being like trying to base them on off these courses, but that's the original. So I like being in the sun and stuff like that. But I mean, Scottish golf, when it's a nice day, if you get a nice day up at these places, it's just magical. Yeah.
Number 5, favourite book ever.
I quite liked reading the Hank Haney book called The Big Miss.
The Big Miss,
and it's called The Big Miss, but it's about Tiger's life and some like secrets and stuff that he had going on in his life, and some of those like
off the course antics
and stuff like that. It's just mad. And I remember just
his life was mad.
And it was from his coach. Hank Haney was his coach. Right. And it's from his perspective of things. And he fell out after that because Tiger was raging and he told about all the stuff. I remember just reading it and just I don't really read much. But I remember reading that and thinking, wow, that is crazy. Mental. Yeah. Some of the stuff he was up to and still able to win all the time. I know. Unreal. How strong must he have been in his head? I know. But he doesn't have a conscience, does he?
But did you see did you watch the Sky? Was his dad not like crazy?
I mean, yeah. And I think that's what ended up making him being like, okay, I'll just need to live now. His dad was like, making him break up with girlfriends, writing letters to his girlfriends, sending it to their house.
That's nuts.
Saying he won't see you again.
I tell you what you'd like. I think you'd like. I don't know. You might have seen it. King Richard, Serena and Venus Williams' dad. Oh, okay. Similar kind of thing. Like
you said, King Richard. I thought it was something Richard Gough.
He like planned their life out for them, and was like basically every single day was
what is it called? King Richard?
Tennis. King Richard. Wow. It was just out. Is that me? You probably next time you're on a.
What was that book?
A flight? No, it's a film. It just came out.
Probably. That's right. It's in the cinema.
Next your flight to Dubai. There's your.
Who is it? It's Will Smith. Will Smith. That plays the dad. That's right. Yeah. I would like that. I've seen the.
It's inspired. It's really inspiring, mate.
It looks really, really good.
Crazy though. Crazy.
But for right now, I need to see the new Spider-Man first.
Aye. Is that out?
It's out now.
Aye. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Spider-Man fan. I'll give you that.
I like Spider-Man now.
So favourite film number 6.
Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Just a great film.
Yeah. It's a good one.
If it's on, you watch it all the time. But I also like a film called The Spirit. Okay. A kind of horse animated film.
Really?
Not any horses at all either, but the story behind it's unreal.
Is it?
Watch it, you'll love it.
The Spirit.
It's called Spirit.
Oh, Spirit. Okay. Yeah. I look at, and it's an animation.
It's like a kind of cartoon.
Right. Okay.
Unreal.
Aye. Okay.
Unreal.
Check it out.
You watch that, it's so good.
Favourite food?
Sushi. I
Sushi?
love sushi. Well,
Good choice.
I'm going by a sushi restaurant, I'm just like, I need to go. If I'm hungry, I'm straight in.
Quote? Favourite quote or quote you live by?
So
you must
cheesy,
have one. You must have
so
one in there.
Quotes.
There must be one or two.
I
that
see
you think
quotes all the
back to.
time. I'm into quotes and stuff like that as well. And I can't remember them. I think I don't honestly.
Or just
think.
even like a saying or something you say to yourself, you know, during a tough time, or
I honestly don't even know. I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't without being.
We might if you think of one. Unless you don't, you can be cringy, mate. You can be anything you like.
But like
if you remember it by then, we'll come back to it, right? Number 9. What do you kind of talked about it? What do you define success as in your life or generally?
I think ultimately you want to be happy, don't you?
Yeah.
And just in a good place. I think being happy, doing well in your sports, obviously what everyone looks at and what you kind of base yourself off as well. So I think if I'm playing golf at a high level, being happy, family's happy, everyone's healthy, like what else you can really ask for? You know, it sounds kind of cringy or whatever, but it's the truth, isn't it? Like that's kind of it. So I feel like making my family proud and them being all happy, and everyone being happy and healthy, and then you can just everything's good from there, really. I mean, there's never really a problem then, is there? You make your own problems up, to be honest. Number 10, what would you say to a young golfer starting off in their journey? Or what would you say to a young Ewen Ferguson? I would say I had it anyway, but I would say like totally just to enjoy it. If you're playing and you're 14, it's hard work. It's going to be hard work when you're 25. I'd say you need to have fun with it. It needs to be enjoyable. You need to go to the range and just be like, that is brilliant fun. Can't wait to go. Can't wait to try and get better. Practice your short game because it's so important. And then, like I said, like I had it anyway. I really wanted to go and practice all the time. So and just totally enjoyed it. So but I think that's the main thing, because otherwise you'll turn pro and you'll start being really serious and you'll just be like, that's brutal. So I'd say just enjoy it.
Would you say you had fun?
I still do. Like I can't wait to go and practice and stuff sometimes. Like genuinely can't wait.
Yeah, it's interesting though that you say like enjoy yourself and have fun, because I had a football player on, Jamie McCart at St Johnson, and he talked about the fact that he probably didn't enjoy himself enough when he was younger. He was like too harsh on himself, that kind of thing. But he says looking back, like you need to actually enjoy the process, as we talked about. Like
I was hard on myself and stuff like that, and when I didn't do well. But I think because it doesn't mean I think when you're a young golfer, right? For example, it's different than football, because you can do bad one week or you can do bad. It doesn't matter that much. But in football, it's like it's part of that process to get there. And if you can't really have a bad time. It seems in football when you're young, you just need to keep getting better, don't you? Yeah. But in golf, you can have a year where you just don't do good. Yeah. And it doesn't really matter that much as long as you get to that kind of level eventually.
So enjoy yourself and practice the short game.
Definitely short game, and just have fun with it. Just mess about, be creative.
Any quotes?
I still can't think any quotes, honestly. I need to go on my Instagram. I've saved them all I've saved all the posts, so I need to check my Instagram up. Every one that means something to me, it's saved.
No, mate. So thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure to hear kind of your story. And
it's kind of a different outlook on things, isn't it?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Football, so.
But again, it's just interesting, like someone from a different sport. So you said, like, and there's similarities in terms of like the kind of mindset and attitude that you've got, and that resilience, and just that vision. Like you're so focused, and you know what you want, and you just go after it. Yeah, and I think it's just the same in every kind of walk of life. You need that, don't you? Yeah, and it's just good to have it. And, So where can people find you? What's the best platform for you if they want to check out? At UBOF. UBOF. EWBOF. And then Instagram, Twitter. It's all over there, and I just update. I only post like golf. There'll be lots of Puma and Cobra stuff on there. That's it, basically. I only post golf. I don't post like really any personal stuff, and just keep it there. But it's all about how I'm getting on, how I'm doing, performing that. So hopefully do alright. Well, I'll put all that stuff in the show notes below. Sounds good. Thank you, mate. Thanks very much. It's been a pleasure. Cheers. It's been a pleasure. Thanks, man.